Hey, what's going on everyone? Stephen for HeyTechi here. Aqara is a smart home accessory manufacturer that focuses on reasonably priced HomeKit devices. In today's video, we'll be having a look at the Aqara Water Leak Sensor. For the last couple of weeks, I've been testing several of Aqara's devices. A few weeks back, I published my thoughts on the M2 Aqara Hub, so if you've not seen that yet already, there's a link up above. The reason that I mention that now is that in order to use any of Aqara's sensor devices, you are going to need a hub first. And that's because all Aqara sensors run using Zigbee and not Wi-Fi, so whilst they're very energy efficient, you are going to need a hub. Aqara make a whole host of hubs and recently just launched their G3 hub. That's available now in North America and in some parts of continental Europe, so if you're interested in that, head on over and check out the Brad Lloyd's video on that topic. Once it's out here in the UK, we'll also be sharing our thoughts on that, but Aqara advised me that might be a few months away yet. So without any further ado, let's get into the Aqara Water Leak Sensor. So this is the sensor. I'd like to thank Aqara for sending me this sensor for the purposes of this review. You'll find it in a small little package which is plain and simple, quite similar to Apple's own packaging. That might not be entirely surprising since Aqara devices are sold in Apple stores, which puts them in a very exclusive category. It doesn't explicitly state it on the box, but this is compatible with Apple HomeKit when you use it with an Aqara hub that also supports that. Inside the box you'll get an Aqara leak sensor, a welcome card, a manual in English and various European languages as well as Chinese. The Aqara Water Leak Sensor is a small disc-like device measuring about 50mm by 50mm by 15mm. Here it is compared to an AirTag, and again here compared to a SwitchBot bot. Speaking of SwitchBot, today is the last day for their Black Friday sale, and HeyTechi viewers can get up to 38% off depending where you are in the world. The details for all of that are in my last video, so make sure to go check it out. The main body of the device is made from a soft plastic that has a water icon on the top. The top of the sensor is softer than the rest of the device, as the only button this device has is located underneath. But since the device needs to be waterproof, it's got to be located under this shell so that that button is protected from any leaks. If you flip it over, the center of the base is raised about ½ centimeter, and there are 2 hex screws on either side. The outer edge is raised up ever so slightly so that close up, the sensor kind of resembles a mushroom. Now it's these little screws that act as the water sensor probes. When water touches both of them, the sensor detects water as the circuit is completed, thus causing the device to trigger. Removing the battery is simple enough, which can be done using a coin and features a watertight seal. The sensor uses a very common CR2032 button battery, and Aqara claim the battery will last up to 2 years. The sensor is also certified as IP67 water and dustproof resistant, so you'll be able to use this in any humid or dusty environment. With a hex screwdriver, you can unscrew these further so that they are further pronounced, and thus lower to the surface that water may have leaked upon. Aqara also states that you can attach a pair of wires to extend the reach of the sensor, but I'm not sure whether this would impact the IP67 rating however. As this is a Zigbee device, as I mentioned at the beginning, you will need an Aqara hub to make this work. Without one, this device is essentially useless to you. Setup is pleasantly simple, though you must add it through the Aqara app, as there is no way to directly add this to your Apple smart home through HomeKit. Open up the Aqara app and press the plus button in the top right corner, choose Sensor, and then scroll down to the Water Leak Sensor. When prompted, press down hard on the sensor's button and watch for that blue light to flash. When I set it up the first time, the app told me that syncing failed, but the hub told me that it was successful. But upon refreshing the app, it then appeared for me. Now this isn't a huge problem to me since it added fine, but I did have this problem 2 out of the 3 times I added it, so it's something that I thought worthwhile noting. As soon as it is added to your device, the Aqara hub will let you know, as well with a chime. When you don't have an Aqara account and you use the Aqara app in HomeKit only mode, it won't give you any option to name the sensor or to decide what room it is added into, but you can adjust both of these in HomeKit directly. If you already have an Aqara account, you'll be brought to the next screen where you can then customize these details. As mentioned before, this device gets exposed in HomeKit, and that is thanks to the Aqara Hub's HomeKit certification. However, other than being displayed in HomeKit, it doesn't do much else unless the sensor detects a leak. To test the performance and the capabilities of this water sensor, I opted to pour water in and around the device, and I hope you'll forgive me for not flooding my house just for this video. Now, I've got to be honest, the first test was a complete failure. Despite the sensor sitting in a puddle for over a minute, the alarm never triggered, which was just bizarre to me. However, in subsequent tests, it has passed with flying colours. The alert via the Home app was almost instantaneous every single time. As expected, the leak detection would not clear until the sensor was no longer in the water and thoroughly dried off with a towel. I was even able to get a pop-up on my Apple Watch advising a leak had been detected as well, which is a really handy additional feature, as you'll need to have a leak seen as soon as possible before it does real damage in your home. Maybe it's because it was the very first time the device was used, but having now conducted no fewer than 25 tests, with all of them triggering the alarm, save for that first one, I'm generally satisfied that this result was just an anomaly. According to Aqara, if you use the Mi Home app with this device, you can also set it to trigger the siren in the Aqara Hub. This is a nice bonus, but I would like to see this level of integration come natively to the Apple Home app in the future. Nonetheless, you can connect this sensor into your scenes, so you could theoretically get all of your lights to turn red should the sensor detect a leak, but honestly I think the alarm on your phone should be enough in most circumstances. When I asked for your questions on Instagram earlier in the week, one person mentioned that they'd been having connectivity issues with the water leak sensor, where it would go non-responsive. Now, I've been using this for a couple of weeks now, and I can't say I've had any problems like this so far, and I've moved the sensor all around the house to see if I could replicate this problem, but the Aqara app always reported that the device had a good signal to the hub as well. Now, I did read on Reddit that a few people have also had this problem, so it's clearly not a standalone issue, but I would like to look into this more in the future. In the meantime though, it's always worth making sure that your device and your Aqara hub are fully up to date, and maybe even factory resetting them might be a solution to the problem. All in all then, I think the Aqara Water Leak Sensor is a great buy, especially if you are on a budget. It costs just £15 here in the UK, or about $20 in the United States, but you can get it cheaper elsewhere as well. Considering the damage caused by a leak can vary depending on how fast you catch it and where it is, this little device could save you hundreds if not thousands of pounds. Of course, you also need to factor in the price of an Aqara Hub 2 if you don't already have one of those. But if you're already planning on getting other sensors for your smart home, then Aqara may well already be on your list. Not to mention, this is only one of 2 HomeKit water leak devices that I'm currently aware of. The other one is the Fibro flood sensor, which costs a lot more, coming in at around £60. I've got to be honest, although I've not tested this product myself, even though it doesn't need its own hub and it has additional features including a thermometer, even if it worked perfectly, I'd really struggle to justify the price difference myself. But maybe this will change if we test that out in the future. What do you make of Aqara's water sensor? Do you have any experience with these already? Let me know in the comments down below, and please share your views. Today marks our 1-year anniversary on YouTube. This day 1 year ago we published our first ever HeyTechi video, and this channel has grown faster than I could have ever expected. I'm grateful to each and every one of our 2,000 subscribers, and to each and every one of our viewers over the course of this year. We hope to keep making you quality videos for years to come. Until next time then, I've been Stephen, for HeyTechi.